Alright, here is my build of the Fleet Phantom Intel Escort that I got yesterday. Um, Running dual anti-proton beam banks on the front. I would have preferred to get crit D times 3 pen, but I made 200 plus double beam banks and I was just tired of making them. So I settled I got 3 of the crit D times 2 damage pen, and then this one kind of sucks because it's got the crit H on there, but oh well, it works just fine. I have the mission reward from Sphere of Influence AP beam Omni. Also have a crafted Omni AP beam, and then I have the kinetic cutting beam. Kinetic cutting beam actually does a little more DPS than the AP beams, which is kind of funny, but it works. With the kinetic cutting beam, I have a simulated module for the two-piece bonus that is 2.5% to set off a mega weapon amplifier, and that basically helps you keep your weapon power up, which is the key to DPS. I have a polymorphic probe array essentially here just for the AP damage, and a EPS flow regulator. Once we get Plasmonic Leech on console, I will replace either this or the assimilated module, probably this, with the Plasmonic Leech, which gets me to my science consoles. These are plasma generating weapon signature nullifiers from the Fleet Embassy. They decrease threat generation by 75%. And these particular ones, you can buy them with a bunch of different mods. I got the Drain because when I get Leech, it will complement it quite nicely. And also, I want to do a Science Drain build on my Science ship that these will fit into well. What the coolest part about these is they do have a 2.5% chance to proc 41, 4,188 plasma damage that ignores shields. This is awesome, and with all 3 consoles equipped, it procs a lot, let me tell you. So you can even see in the weapon tips, you have all 3 chances right there, plus the Omega Weapon Amplifier. 4 tactical consoles, run-of-the-mill AP TAC consoles, which will get replaced with AP vulnerability locators once we have Spire Research Tier 3. We have Iconian Space Set. I only have 3 pieces of it thus far because I am not yet Tier 5 in Iconian Resistance. Once I'm Tier 5, Soul Defense Shields will get replaced with Iconian Shields. This build does a lot of damage. We have been pretty much destroying every advanced queue we've walked into. It'll do more once my crit chance gets up there, once I get my tactical vulnerability locators, and once I get my superior Romulan operative bridge officers to help me get my crit up there. Now for space traits, starship traits, I got target rich environment. This comes from the Kelvin Dread lobby ship. Supremacy comes from the Vodwar Astika lobby ship. These 2 work amazingly with my build because I pretty much always have Fire at Will up, and these proc off Fire at Will. This gives you weapon power for every hit in Fire at Will. This gives you bonus damage for every hit with Fire at Will. This is Reciprocity. Reduces recharge time on intelligence and tactical bridge officer abilities. I'm probably going to end up replacing this at some point, and this one I just kind of threw on there. It's okay, but again, I'm probably going to replace it at some point. For BOF seating, I have tactical intelligence bridge officer. I'm running 2 copies of override subsystem safeties. This, when it pops, puts my weapon power up to like 150, 160 in that neighborhood. I know you can't get any additional damage after 125, but it gives you a nice buffer zone for when you're firing your weapons. Your weapons don't even drop below that 125. We have attack pattern Omega for little damage resistance buff and damage buff, helps break control. We have attack pattern Beta, always nice. We have 2 copies of tactical team, that's a must. Polarized Hull, this is kind of a help me stay alive button because it's still an escort and it's still squishy. Another copy of override subsystem safeties. Here we have, this is my big oh shit button. Keeps me alive in a pinch. Very nice skill to have, especially on a squishy escort. Here I have 2 copies of emergency power to shield. Again, helps me stay alive. However, once I get more of the appropriate damage control engineer doffs that reduce the cooldowns on emergency power abilities, I will replace this one with emergency power to weapons 2, and then I can have both running pretty much all the time. This may change at some point, just another little hull heal, but for being an escort, I have quite a bit of backup to help keep me alive, and it still does a crap ton of damage. Um, Also, as an escort, you always still want to be sure that you're letting the cruisers take aggro first. Um, anyway, that's my build. Hope you liked it, and see you later.